I'm Kelly Burke, and I got next.
You next up and you ain't been on SportsLifeTalk. Like, what are you doing? Hey, you better hit him up. Look, you breaking next and you up next. Kings and queens go hard. Rise and star on the big scene. Make them know who you are. You don't break a sweat. Don't settle for less. They put you through that test. Your resume that flex. Who got next? Who got next? SLT, ready, set, go. Who got next? Who got next? Living my dreams and all your goals. Who got next? Who got next? You can ask B. Jones or head coach. Who got next? Who got next? You next up, so here's my vote.
SLT Nation, welcome back to another fire episode of Sports Life Talks. You got next, a platform that gives exposure to the voices of tomorrow. That's right, we're searching high and low, West Coast to East Coast, and we are on a journey to find rising stars in our communities who are doing big things and living up the big dream. But I'm gonna tell y'all something today. If I don't do another show, I want y'all to put this one on my Wikipedia page, because this one makes me feel good, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. We talking about one of the dopest veterans in the game. Color analysis, sports broadcaster, writer, producer. I mean, the hits go on and on and on. How amazingly talented our guest is today, from Phoenix, Arizona, ESPN, MLB, CBS Sportsnet. Y'all seen on TV and on the sidelines, and now you get to rock with her for one episode of You Got Next. Welcome to the family, Kelly Burke. How you doing, Kelly?
Oh, I'm doing good. Put me in, coach. Like, that was super energetic, high vibe. I'm ready to go. I feel like I could run through a wall right now.
That's the goal, but you know what I'm saying? I get a little bit too much with I'm gonna be a little extra today, because
I'm okay with that. I am totally okay with that.
Well, you sit where I sit, y'all gotta understand this is an icon. You for the last 10 years, I watch games and I hear this voice, and now all of a sudden to get to work with her, it's like a dream come true. So well, check this out. If this is your first time checking out the show, welcome to our platform. You know you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're right here with us. I am your host, the mouth of the South, B. Jones, the OG all thing Louisiana. Mr. Yeet is in the building, and I'm rocking alongside my brother from another mother, the architect, the quiet storm, the head coach, KT. Kev, how you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling great, but I know the initiation hasn't started yet, B. Jones, but I got to ask Kelly a question.
Okay.
Shoot.
Is it really true that people are more afraid of public speaking than jumping out of a plane and even dying?
Yes, I was shocked when I heard that too. But everywhere I go too, I just was at a girlfriends in business seminar this past weekend, and the amount of people out there that you give them a mic and they're terrified, and not even in a live situation, just in a public speaking situation, and people literally lose their mind.
I would too. Look, I'm having fun here, but I'm in a computer. I'm behind a camera right now. I don't know if I can stand up in front of everybody like you do and speak at these ceremonies and these business meetings. That would, I don't know. We'll get into all that.
Hold up, B. Jones. Before we continue, nobody believes you. You love to talk, so you'll grab the mic and do your thing. But we'll continue. Go ahead.
All right, y'all. Check this out. Let's pay the bills real quick. Listen, on the count of three in Sports Life Talk tradition, we need y'all to help us to do something momentous. We need y'all to help us to keep this amazing energy, to keep this vibe, and to keep this show rolling strong in 2023. Listen, we've had so many amazing and incredibly talented guests. We want to keep it going, and you can help us right now. That's right. You can help us by doing one simple thing. Take this finger right here, and I want you to find that subscribe button on your screen. And when I count down to 3, I need you to smash that subscribe button. KB, is your people going to rock with us?
They better be. They better be.
All right, here we go. On the count of 3, let's do it like we new to it. 1, 2, 3. Boom! Welcome to the Sports Life Talk family. That's right. We don't do fans. We don't do followers. We take family very seriously around this. So if you smash that subscribe button, we are your new play cousins. And without further ado, y'all didn't come here to hear me talk and run my mouth. Y'all came here to see what's popping and what's cracking with Kelly Burke. And we're about to give it to you right now. We got to get to know her a little bit better. So Kelly, are you ready for the Sports Life Talk initiation?
Bring it.
Oh, she said, bring it, B. Jones. Okay.
It sounded like she ready for you, KT. Good luck, brother.
Okay, so to initiate you into the SLT family, you have to give us your top 5 music artists.
Oh, okay. Well, this is gonna be kind of all over the place. So I am really vibing lately in the last year with Khalid is probably number 1. Then I gotta go with Taylor Swift just because everybody likes T Swift. I am a big, throwing it back a little, I am a Pearl Jam fan. My wedding song was actually, that I danced to my husband with, was a Eddie Vedder song from his Ukulele album. And then let's throw in a little Billy Joel. And how about Sia?
All right, I know the names now. I'm not look. You see me kind of catch my collar, got a little sweat bead back there. I don't know the journey. I don't know the songs as well, but yeah. I know all of those artists. Let's hit a little bit.
Kind of all over the place. I like a little bit of everything. From I like R&B, rap, oldies. I mean, you name like probably the only thing I don't listen to a lot is country. Country's not really my thing. Certain artists, more mainstream artists, but other than that, I pretty much listen to anything.
So B. Jones, with her top 5, I think the only person that's been mentioned before was Taylor Swift, correct?
That's true.
I don't think we had a Pearl Jam or a Billy Joel.
Sia. I know for a fact nobody's ever said Sia.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Kelly. So what we like to do, we like to rank everybody's top 5. The highest you can get is 5.
Okay.
You took us on a journey with different genres. So B. Jones, we're going to give her 12 for her top 5. Give her 12.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, I'll take it.
Look, Kelly, in giving you 12, we gave you all the money that we have for this show. So I don't know how the rest of it's going to go.
Show's over.
Yeah. All right, so who is your favorite superhero and why?
I'm going to go with Wonder Woman. And I mean, just because she's a strong, confident woman. Am I allowed to cuss on here? I don't know. She's a badass. Like, why would I not go with her? And her outfit is incredible.
Hey, and I saw on your podcast. Do you know Apple gave y'all the explicit tag? I don't know.
Did it? Oh, okay. Well, that's not shocking because my mom gets mad. I work in sports. I mean, I have a potty mouth a little bit. I'm around guys all the time. So.
Hey, I died laughing when I saw that. I said, I wonder if she knows they gave her the explicit tag.
I wonder if that's more me or more my guests. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to go back and look at some of these episodes.
All right. So since every good superhero needs their own theme music, what would your theme song be?
So this is where I would tap into the Sia. She has this song, Unstoppable. You might have seen it. It was during one of the Olympics, probably in the last 5 or 8 years. It was a commercial. It was on a commercial, but it's a pretty well-known song, Unstoppable. That would be my theme song.
Yeah, go ahead and sing it for us, Kelly.
Oh, you don't want to hear me sing it.
I thought you was gonna get it, B. I thought you was gonna get it.
Yeah, you do not. I'm a broadcaster, but I cannot sing. You do not want to hear me sing it.
Isn't she the one that always has the hair always in her face?
Yeah. I mean, she's kind of out there, but that Unstoppable song, man, I put that on and I could go run 20 miles.
Well, we couldn't. All right, so if you could shadow anyone for a week and learn from them, they could be the dead or alive. Who would it be and why?
I'd go with Doris Burke. She's the GOAT, and everything about her, the assignments she has for ESPN, the way that she has continued to rise through her career, especially you don't see a lot of women past the age of 50 just absolutely thriving in their career. And she continues to do that and get incredible assignments. And I would just like to be a fly on the wall, soaking up her knowledge, her vocabulary, the way she articulates things, experience the relationships she has and the respect she has from coaches in the NBA and players. I would love that. And
she can get buckets, B.
Yeah, that's you.
Is a baller. All right, so we at Sports Life Talk, we like to dream big, as like B. Jones says it all the time. So we just hired Kelly Burke to be our in-studio host of our Sports Life Talk live show. Give us 2 other hosts you will bring along for the show.
The ones that immediately come to mind, Taylor Rooks. She is an incredible, she's an incredible interviewer. I think she's arguably, Tom Rinaldi is a fantastic interviewer, but she just has a way of creating trust and relationships with people. Super skilled interviewer. All the stuff I've seen her do, and a super nice person too. I've met her in person before, and then probably Monica McNutt, because she just brings that personality and fun.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, Taylor, if you out there, if you listen to this, I'm your biggest fan. I'm just gonna tell you right now, it don't get no bigger than me. I'm constantly stalking your page, so no, I'm just messing with you. But no, she the truth. Taylor Rooks is absolutely the truth. You
should be stalking her page though. She's that good.
And that beautiful.
She's stunning. Yeah, she's stunning.
No, but Monica McNutt, I enjoyed her so much during the final. Like you talked about Drea Carter, Monica and Drea killed the Final Four this year. I mean, they were just absolutely so much fun to watch. That was amazing performances. So you picked two great hosts. Kevin, I don't know where you're gonna get the budget for all that talent, but good luck.
I'll just eat sandwiches for the rest of my life.
Well, my salary would probably be the lowest, let's be honest, out of those 3.
Well, good. All right. So 2 words that are near and dear to my heart: cross country. So tell us something that running has taught you that you can use when you like calling games or just in everyday life.
Perseverance. Well, especially I think back to my career at Arizona State, and I was injured probably 65% of the time. I just had a really hard time. I kept getting stress fractures. And so running has taught me that ability to persevere through injuries and setbacks. And it's been so important, especially in broadcasting, where you hear so many no's and so many doors shut in your face, or things that happen in your career that you want to give up, or you're having a bad day, or you get comments from people that are on social media, or when I worked as a sportscaster, they would send nasty emails. And so it's that perseverance to be able to keep perspective through the hard times.
We're going to talk about that one in just a second as well, because I've noticed some things. I want to get it out there. So we're going to talk about that one.
Okay.
Yeah, we've even experienced some of that on our show with some of the female hosts that we had on. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So if you hit that subscribe button and are thinking about doing so, please do. Leave us your top 5 music artists, your theme song, and your favorite superhero in the comments. And finally, go to our website, sltugotnext.com. There you can learn more about us and our other family members from our You Got Next series. Now allow me to reintroduce our newest play cousin, Miss Kelly Burke, to the SLT family. So B. Jones, go ahead and take it away, brother.
Queen Kelly in the building. This is going to be a fun time. Everybody, I hope y'all enjoy getting to know who she was, because now we're about to tell y'all how the sausage is made. We're about to tell you what makes this woman so phenomenal and so brilliant. But let's take it back. Let's take this thing back. You became a sports fan at the age of 5th grade, so around the age of 9 or 10 years old. And I tell people, I made this comment not too long ago. I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana, so I'm all things Louisiana. But, I always talk about, like, what city would you live in if you had to pick a sports community, right? And Phoenix, in my opinion, is one of those top 6 or 7 markets in the country. Like, it doesn't get any better than Phoenix sports, even from the amateur level. So I'm curious to know how it was growing up out there on the Phoenix scene. You got the Suns and the Cardinals. I know the Cardinals probably moved it in that time frame, but what was it like,
It was awesome. So for 10 years, I was born in New Hampshire, and I grew up for 10 years in New Hampshire. And then when I was 10, we moved to Phoenix, and it was life-changing, because when I lived in New Hampshire, I lived in a real small town about an hour from Boston, and there just wasn't opportunities for girls to play sports until you got to 6th or 7th grade. They didn't exist. Track was literally probably the only sport you could do after school, and then gymnastics. I did gymnastics, but I'm 6 feet tall. So if that tells you anything, how tall I was just even growing up. Yeah. I was really good at gymnastics, but I sort of had to quit gymnastics because I just got too tall for it. So when I came to Phoenix, it was the 1992, end of 1992 when we moved there. And so 1992-93, let me paint the picture. I'm going to throw it back a little. I'm dating myself a little, but Phoenix Suns taking on the Chicago Bulls in the NBA Finals. One of my greatest sports memories. And so I fell in love with watching and listening to the Phoenix Suns broadcast. And so my family, my dad has 7 brothers and sisters, and 6 of them live in Phoenix. And so we would get together during the week on the weekends, and we would watch the Suns games, and we'd listen to Al McCoy, who just retired. He was the voice of the Phoenix Suns. We'd listen to him call the games on the radio. And I became a diehard basketball fan. And so I started playing YMCA basketball. And I just was completely mesmerized by that team. Kevin Johnson, Charles Barkley, to this day, my favorite basketball player of all time. Dan Marley, Oliver Miller. I mean, you name it. If you were Big O, as they called him.
Big O.
Yeah, so many. Richard Dumas. I mean, we could go on and on. But
I forgot about Richard Dumas.
Cedric Ceballos.
Cedric Ceballos, he was a dunker and a rapper.
Yes.
Did you ever hear him rap? You ever hear Cedric Ceballos rap?
I have. And I mean, he was a radio host in town too at one point. So I just completely fell in love with this team. If this tells you anything, so for a couple years there, I hated Michael Jordan because of what he did to the Suns in that series. To this day, I can't stand John Paxson because he hit that shot in Game 6 to sink the Suns. So they lose obviously Game 6, they lose the finals. They have a parade though still in town, and my mom would not let me skip school to go to this parade, and I cried. That's how upset I was about not being able to go to the Phoenix Suns parade. But that was one of my lasting sports memories that sort of started it all. And then I started playing YMCA basketball, and it was all about basketball then after that. And that was sort of how my love of sports began. So I became obsessed. By the time I got to high school, I was completely obsessed with sports. I was a 3-sport athlete, and the Diamondbacks came along around that time too. They started their franchise. Coyotes moved to town. It was back I think they used to be called the Phoenix Cardinals back then, not the Arizona Cardinals. But
yeah, they were the Phoenix Cardinals.
Yeah, they weren't very good back then, so nobody really talked about them. But loved the Suns, and I go back because my parents still live there. My sister still lives there, and just what awesome opportunities to be able to take in sporting events. The 4 pro teams, and then this year you have the Final 4 coming to Phoenix. You have the Waste Management Open, or I think it's called something else now, but that's in February. The infamous 16th hole. I mean, there's just so many things you can go out there and see as a sports fan.
Well, you just took me down memory lane. I'm all over. I was rooting for the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, I hated Michael Jordan growing up too. I'm just like you. And I respect and appreciate the guy now. I can't, I mean that documentary on him on ESPN, unbelievable. But for several years after that, I could not say his name because of how he just completely torched the Suns. Well, what about Pat Tillman? Did you ever get the opportunity to meet Pat Tillman before he went over in Desert Storm?
Yeah, I think I did. Not that I remember very well, but so my brother, his best friend was actually the ASU athletic director's son at the time. And so after the ASU football games, players and coaches, they would come to his friend's parents' house and after the games to celebrate wins, because it was back when ASU football was really good. So I think really briefly, probably in passing, but he certainly has been an inspiration, especially having been an Arizona State student athlete. He's so ingrained in the school and his legacy. And then I'm from a 3rd-generation military family. Yeah. So I have immense respect for the military. I have so many branches of the military represented in my family throughout its lineage. So I just can't attest enough just how amazing of a human he was, and just the gratitude I have for the sacrifice and service he gave.
Yeah, before Kurt Warner and Larry Fitzgerald became stars, Tillman was the biggest name that came out of Phoenix. He was dope.
He was one of a kind. He was one of one.
Well, I'm glad you flexing on him. See, right now, y'all getting to see her genius, and she put it to work right there. So you kind of set this up perfect for me. You didn't just, you played basketball, so I understand you having a passion for basketball, but you on the sideline of college football games, and you work in the NBA. I mean, you like working everywhere. You are not pulling any punches. So how does one grow to an affinity and a knowledge and a level of expertise for not one, but literally any sport? I mean, they could probably call you tomorrow and say, hey, we got the World Tiddlywinks Championship. We need you to get ready, KB. We sending you to Abu Dhabi for you to So, I mean, how do you go about what does it take? Tell us, how do you master these different crafts?
Some of it is just, being observant and studying and taking it all in and just being a student of anything you're watching. And then some of it is just I'm a naturally curious person. And so anything that I like to do it at 110%. And so I realized pretty quickly, since I started my career as a local TV sportscaster in different markets, I had to have really good general knowledge of a ton of different sports. So that's sort of where it started, is having to know pretty intricately the different sports I was talking about on my sportscast every night. I had to pretty much know a lot about each of those leagues. And then when I decided I think it was about 5 or 6 years ago, I quit my local TV sports job and decided to focus on calling games full time. And I realized that I needed to have versatility, especially being new to doing games, that the more sports I could do, the more opportunities I was going to have to be able to work. And that's one thing I always tell. I get a lot of young people that reach out to me over email or social media, especially women, asking for advice. And a lot of them want to be sideline reporters, which I think it's a great goal. But the one thing I always tell them is, look, this is a really great goal. You go after that dream of being a sideline reporter, but at the same time, be versatile, be able to do play-by-play, be able to be an analyst, because when you talk to network executives in today's world, they want versatile people who can do a little bit of everything. And you look at the generations coming up, and especially in youth sports, it's so much, hey, we want to specialize. And I came from that generation where I was the 3-sport athlete in high school. And honestly, if I would have been able to play more sports at the same season, I probably would have been a 4 or 5-sport athlete. And that's just sort of the mindset I have, is that do a little bit of everything but do it well.
Well, you don't stop working. You're the hardest working woman in showbiz. I'm super impressed. I got the opportunity to kind of listen to your deck and some of your highlight reels, and it is just absolutely crazy. And when I found out we was going to do this show, I was like, this can't be the Kelly Burke I'm talking about. Like, we ain't that big yet. You know what I'm saying? And then when I said, this is it. This is actually her. This is really her. So that is super awesome. So you talked about giving advice to somebody who wanted to become a sideline reporting, versatility. Yeah. How much time? Because I mean, like, you're sitting down with us for 30, 40 minutes, but how much time does it take for you to prepare yourself for the show? I'm imagining, because I know how much time it takes for me to prepare just to do a 30-minute sample. So I mean, how much work are you putting in before you even get on the microphone?
I'm putting in a lot. That's what I think a lot of people that aren't in our industry don't understand, is all the preparation that goes on behind the scenes. And it's basically a full-time job. I am, especially, let's say I'm calling a basketball game. I am watching more than one game on each team, probably 2 to 3 games of film on each team to be able to pick up tendencies. I am going to shoot arounds on day of the game so I can get last minute thoughts from coaches or players. I'm reading any sort of press clippings, or, doing the Google thing online, finding out any sort of information I can on the team, going through the stats and making my boards. It's really a week-long process. And sometimes you don't have the full week, especially I've had weeks where maybe I have 4 or 5 games in one week. So I have to be super organized and efficient with my time. But it's basically, when you're in season, I mean, you're probably working 12-hour days just trying to get ready to go on air. Because for me, so much of my confidence is generated from my preparation. And I always want to come across as prepared. And I just have that comfort. Like, when I'm prepared, I'm the most confident I can be on air. I don't like to wing anything.
Well, we do a lot of winging. we got to get more professional, KT. We got to button up a little bit, man. We got 12-hour days, KT. 12-hour days
in season. But then right now I'm in my off season, so I'm working, but it's not near as many hours as I'm working in season. But the thing is, you don't ever feel like you're working 12-hour days or 10-hour days.
It's a passion.
Yeah, exactly. You're not working. I'm not working at a bank, working 9 to 5 and grinding away.
Like looking at highlights for you and getting that information is almost a form of entertainment at the same time.
Yeah, it's kind of in a sick way. Like, I honestly really love, in a nerdy way, breaking down the stats and doing the research part of it. Whereas most people, they'd be bored out of their mind. But I genuinely love the process of it all.
Good, because now I don't feel bad about watching your YouTube film 8 times, because that's just normal. That's what we do, because I actually enjoyed listening to you. All right, let's talk about these meanies out there, because trust me, we try to reach out to Monica, we try to reach out to Taylor, but the reality is that a lot of sports personalities have to close themselves off. WNBA stars, coaches have to close themselves off because it's just so much hate out there in the world. How do you handle that hate where it could really poke at somebody's security and make them insecure and doubt themselves a little bit? How are you able to handle that? Because the first time I experienced it was we had Leah Hextall on the show. She's in the hockey world, and I could not believe it.
Really?
And I sat there and, she did the Dallas Stars. I think it was like the Blackhawks or something. They came to Dallas, and I sat up there, I'm watching the game, and I'm following along on the TV. I'm looking at, doing my Twitter thing, just kind of researching stuff as the game is on the television, and people are just saying some of the most nastiest things. Like, and she's perfect. She doesn't make a mistake. The whole entire broadcast, we're talking about a 3-hour broadcast. She doesn't make a mistake, and people are still mean and angry. So I know you probably had a lot of adversity from that. It's just, they just don't like to see women succeed for some odd reason. No, I don't know why these idiots are out there. Some of them are, but how do you handle that, and how do you overcome that and still, pick your chin up and go back out there and do what you do at an excellent level?
It's been a journey. I remember, and it's not even just men sometimes trolling. It's women sometimes we can be our own worst critic at times. I remember there was a woman at my last local TV job, sports job. I got an email from this woman, and she basically said, every time I hear you on the TV, it's like nails on a chalkboard, and I literally want to headbutt my TV. And I read it and I'm like, wow, that's a very strong opinion. It was almost kind of funny because it was so ridiculous, but I've gotten some really mean emails. I got them more so, honestly. I'd certainly get them on social media, but I got really bad ones when I was a local TV sportscaster, because they have access to your email. They can go on the website, look up your email. Right. And so I got some really nasty stuff, and you just have to learn to ignore it. And actually, it was Barry Hinson, who used to be the Southern Illinois University men's basketball coach, and he sort of did this analogy for me, and he said, you have to pretend that the people that are making these comments on social media or writing these things on email, imagine that it's some 50-something-year-old guy in his boxer shorts eating Cheetos in his mom's basement, and like he's a total loser. Oh, cantankerous and just poisonous. Yeah. And so that's what I started imagining it as. It's like, this is who, and usually the best part was when every now and then when I would engage back on social media or make the mistake of writing back over email, you come back at some of these people, and then they're backtracking and apologizing. Some of them. Now, that's not all of them. Certainly some of them can just be super rude, but there's a book I read back years ago. It's called The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Luis, I believe it is. And one of the rules sort of life, one of the 4 rules, is don't take anything personally. And so for me, it's just knowing who my people are. If it's somebody I know, if it was my parents writing that stuff, okay, we'd have an issue, and I would reassess what I'm doing here. Like, I must be doing something wrong. But when it's people you don't even know, I just can't worry about that. That's a you problem, not a me problem. And so I focus on my inner circle, people I respect in the business, and I value their opinions. And everybody else, no offense, but I'm not going to put a whole lot of credence into it.
Well, Kevin and I, we do everything we possibly can. We know our voices are still building. Our platform is still growing, but your voice is already out there for the women's game. To me, you a fixture, you an icon. I'm telling y'all, go listen to one of her games. You can like literally look away from the television and just hear her voice playing, and you're just going to enjoy yourself so much. But the women's game has, to me, it's going places that we can't even see it right now. They had that 25-year mark, which if everybody remembers where the NBA was at the 25-year mark, that's kind of when you started having the Magics and the Larry Birds and the Jordans and stuff started coming along. So, I mean, we're about to start seeing something very similar to that happen in women's basketball. But where do you see the game going? And as a voice of the game, what how excited are you about being able to see these young ladies, the Maddie Segresses, the Anissa Moros, and see these individuals to take the game to that next level?
I'm just so excited because finally women's basketball is starting to get the attention and the coverage that it has deserved for so long. And what we've seen, and it's not just in women's basketball, it's in women's sports in general. I saw it this year in women's volleyball, covering that for ESPN, is that when you actually give women's sports a legitimate time slot on a legitimate network, the fans come. Look at literally, yeah, I mean, even college softball going on right now, the College World Series, everything's rating super high. And it's because they've put games on ABC, and we saw that during the women's NCAA tournament. And we've seen that even in WNBA season so far. One of the Mercury's opening game, one of the highest rated games ever in the WNBA. And it's because they put it in a legitimate time slot on ABC. So I think that there's just so endless potential with women, both at the professional level, but even at the college level, especially now with NIL being a factor too, is that what you're finding is that it's actually the women, the female student athletes that are having more NIL money and deals when it comes down to it. And in the big picture, there's certainly male student athletes that are getting big deals too in college football and stuff. But in the big picture, the NIL money, it's there for women. And we've seen it just even with some of the LSU players that have gotten it after the season. So I couldn't be more excited. I think you're going to continue to see the sport really elevated into better time slots, better coverage overall. We saw at the women's NCAA tournament, just the studio coverage throughout. I think you're going to see that studio coverage even throughout the season.
Well, I tell you what, I'm super excited about it, but I'm also super excited about what's about to go down right now. I wish we had more time, but I got to put something on this man's head. Kelly Burks. It is time for the SportsLifeTalk championship rounds. Kevin, are you ready for this one, man? I'm super hyped right now. I don't know, man. I want to talk some more, but we got to do what we got to do. But this is our version of Would You Rather. Have you ever played a game called Would You Rather before?
Yeah, it's been a while, but I played it.
All right, cool. So this is going to be very simple. KT and I are both going to make a pitch. And the goal is to give you some hard selections, okay? Whichever one you select, that host gains a point. The first host can get 2 points, or the best out of 3 will win this episode's game of championship rounds. And I am coming off of a victory in the last game. All right, so I'm super excited about this one, and I'm hoping I can retain. All right, so here we go. The first question: would you rather become a Hall of Fame broadcaster for the team of your choice, Phoenix Suns, or
become the owner of your own WNBA franchise?
Ooh, man. Tough one, but I'm going to go with Hall of Fame broadcaster for team of my choice.
What team would it be?
Ooh, I think, probably the Phoenix Suns. I think that would be incredible.
That's
where it all started for me. Literally, it'd be very full circle to go back and be a Hall of Fame broadcaster for them. And then also just this next generation, the Suns team too, with Devin Booker and what he's been able to do. He's sort of this is finally the team, even though they got knocked out by the Nuggets this year. This is sort of finally the team where I see hope of being able to restore the Suns back to what it once was.
Yeah, they got lucky. Everybody else got lucky out there. They got lucky that Devin Booker, CP3, and KD never really got an opportunity to play together as a team. And also, we'll talk about that some other time, but I also think there was some philosophical things with Monty and DeAndre Ayton. Ayton has been I'm not going to go. I'm sorry. All right, back. I'll start arguing on my rant.
We'll talk offline.
Yeah, I'll get on that Phoenix Suns rant pretty quick because I got some issues. I got some issues with that. All right, here we go. Round number 2. Would you rather host a YouTube track and field series where you get to interview athletes and celebrities before taking them on a 2-mile jog. So it's like you get to, you know what I'm saying? You get to like pick a star that you want to run, like a Kevin Hart. You and Kevin Hart going to take a 2-mile jog, and you get to kind of interview them along the way. Or
host your own food show where you travel the world interviewing athletes and celebrities as they take you to their favorite places to eat in their hometowns.
I'm going to definitely have to go with the food show. The track thing was tempting. The food show for sure. And let me give you a little backstory there. My dad nicknamed me the bottomless pit. Growing up, he to this day still jokes that I have a hollow leg because of the amount of food I can eat. I am a big foodie. I love food. Let me put it that my husband on our first date bought me a giant ice cream cake at the end of the date to ensure there would be a second date. When I worked in first job out of college, first full-time job when I worked in Medford, Oregon as a local TV sportscaster there, I actually challenged one of the high school offensive lines to an eating contest. It took it super seriously, went out, ran 10 miles before the eating contest, and I proceeded to beat 4 of the 5 guys. The only person I lost to was the center, and I lost to him by like 2 bites. So
wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know it's me versus you now. Hey, let me go ahead, start. I ain't running no 10 miles though.
I had to give myself a little bit of a buffer there.
All right. I'll give you the ding on that one. I'll give you the ding on that one. All right, Kevin, let's go.
On our show, which you can watch Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central, please tell a friend to check us out. We have a segment called The Drop, where B. Jones turns sneaker guru and presents a pair of shoes that he feels are worthy of your financial donations. So for round 3, we both will present a shoe to Kelly. She will have the final vote because whoever she picks wins this episode's game. So Kelly, I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. And I need for you to say, hold that sneaker. Okay?
Okay.
And we're going to show you what we got. All right.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Hold that sneaker. Oh dear. Well, I'm going to have to say, this is a tough choice. They're both good.
Now, his is Dunks. Mine's are Jordan 1s.
Well, I'm going to have to go with the Jordan 1s because of also the red. I'm very partial to the color red. So, but they're both phenomenal choices.
And I had another pair of shoes down here.
Nobody care about it.
I do love me some black and white shoes too. So that was a tough choice.
And I do love me some victory. Yeah. And still champion of the show. Let's go. Kelly, I think this is my crowning moment. I'm just gonna tell you like this. This is the best show ever. We got Kelly Burke.
Oh, B. Jones, come on. Let's get this show over with, man. I got stuff to do now. I was enjoying myself up until round 3. So let's go. Come on.
Man. Let me put my hardware down, bro. Goodness. All right. Here we go, Kelly Burke. The title of the show, Sports Life Talks. You got next. Now that everybody rocking with you at Kelly Burke Sports, without an O, on Twitter, and we following your career. What does the future hold for you in your own words?
So the future immediate goals, I would love to cover the NCAA tournament this year for volleyball and basketball. That's sort of immediate goals. This July, I am climbing a mountain in Jackson Hole. I'm doing a challenge called 29029, where I have to, it's sort of an extreme fitness challenge. I have to climb a mountain 19 times in 36 hours. So I did it last summer in Utah. This year I'm doing it in Jackson Hole. So I'm training for that right now. But yeah, as far as long-term goals, just to be able, I do obviously some national broadcasts for volleyball and for basketball and ESPN and CBS, but to continue to do more national games, just all different sports, all different leagues. And just continue to be able to get opportunities in all the different sports I do.
But you talked about Doris Burke, and you talked about how she's held that phenomenal standard up for so long, and one day we gonna talk about Kelly Burke as like the Doris Burkes, right? So when that day comes and you decide to leave the Hall of Fame career behind, and how do you want to be remembered? What do you want your legacy to be, and what kind of impact do you want to leave on the lives that you touch?
My biggest thing is I just want to inspire people that no matter whatever their dreams are, even if they're not in sports, that they have the ability to achieve them. So, and to do that with kindness and encouragement, and by opening the door for the next generation. One thing that I've really learned in my career, when I started in this business, there wasn't a lot of female sportscast. When I got hired in Medford, Oregon, I was sort of the exception, not the rule. And now it's becoming a lot more common to see women in sports. But when I was in my early 20s, it was super competitive, and I didn't think I could be friends. I didn't think I was supposed to be friends with a lot of other women in the business. And what I quickly realized is that there's room for everybody at the table. So grab my hand back, help whoever I can along the way.
All right. So do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to shout out my biggest supporter is my husband. He's always been super encouraging, and got to shout out my 15-year-old chocolate lab dog, Bella, my parents and my family, and then all the play-by-play analysts and reporters that I get to work with who are phenomenal at their jobs, and even the ones I haven't met but I watch on TV and aspire to be. I'm just super grateful for their example.
All right, so this is the part of the show where you get a chance to call the person that you think should have next. Tell them, hey, I got a chance to rock with B. Jones and KT. Okay. Told them my story. Want you to do the same thing. With that said, Kelly, who are you calling out? Who should have next? You should have Monica McNutt. No question. So do you know her personally where you can get in contact with her?
I can message her. Yes. I mean, you know, as you mentioned, she's harder to get to now, but we do know each other. So I will certainly put in a good word. As you know, she's crazy busy, and yes. I mean, she's on ESPN all the time. I really believe she must not sleep, but literally if you can get her, I think you should, because she is one of the coolest people I know. And she has an incredible story too. I remember I had her on my podcast early on when my podcast started, and well, she'll tell you. I mean, she had a point before she blew up with ESPN where she was ready to hang it up because she was teaching spin classes and she was working as a substitute teacher because she couldn't get enough work. So, and look at where she is now. And she's somebody that she's one of my biggest sources of inspiration, because you know, for her, she's had to really grind and work at it. And it's so cool now to see her. She's always had such a big personality, and she's always done it her way too. I remember her talking in the interview with me that people always, they wanted her to wear her hair a certain way, and they didn't want her to wear the red lipstick that she always wears, and the big hoops. And she's like, no, I'm going to be me. And I respect the hell out of her for doing it her way. And it's clearly paid off. And now the world is getting to see that. So she's somebody that she continues to inspire me and I admire. And I'm just so happy for her. Like, nobody deserves it more than she does.
Well, Monica, you are officially on the clock. We're going to be trying to reach out to you. We're going to slide in the DMs. We're going to make every effort we possibly can to get you on this show. And trust me, we are patient. We understand. And we would love to have you come on and tell your amazing story. And that's a wrap. We'll be in contact with you soon. You on the clock. Kelly Burke, you got next. You are an icon. You are a trailblazer. You're a warrior. You are sensational. You got positive energy. I could go on and on and on, but you are the truth. And I can't speak enough about your level of excellence and pedigree and just professionalism and polish. And oh my goodness, you the truth. And you are extraordinary and elite. You deserve a yeet. Kelly Burke, we did it. You got next. Sports Life Talk Nation. Oops, we did it again. Yeah, let's go. Y'all buckle up. Y'all rock with us. We got a few announcements before we get out of here. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. One more show. We're going to keep giving it to you. We just in June. Think about that. We are just now in June, and we still got 6 more months of guests. And let me tell y'all, the list is already packed out. This thing is about to be nuts. So make sure you are subscribed. You are following us on all of our social media at Sports Life Talk on Twitter, on IG, IG, TikTok. It don't matter. Whatever platforms you like to be on, we are dropping dimes, dropping gems and content daily. And listen, if you're sitting there, you're like, man, I would love to come on the show. I think I got a story that the world needs to hear. We want to hear it. And we're going to give you the opportunity to tell it to us, okay? Go to our website, SLTUgotnext.com. Click on the nominations tab and just give us a little information about yourself so we can reach out to you and learn a little bit more about your own personal journey. And lastly, we go live every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. It's a fun show. We take off the company lettermans a little bit and we let our head down and we talk sports. We talk life, entertainment, pop culture, social media. We talk everything. It's just a fun show. I even talk about my love for sneakers. So y'all come rock with us and you can actually get in the comments and just rip KT a new one. And that's the beautiful part. And he'll see it right there on the screen, so you'll have a good time going after him, not me. All right, Kev, man. I ran out of stuff to talk about, man.
That's good. I'm tired of hearing you talk. Thank you for finally shutting up. I'm the one that built up the courage to reach out to Kelly Burke, and I am the one that lost championship rounds. I don't get it, B. Jones. It's not fair, but you know what? In doing so, even when I lose, I win because we have a new family member. Kelly, thank you so much for rocking with us. Whatever you need from us, let us know. If you're ever in Dallas, B. Jones has lunch or dinner because I know you can eat, so I ain't got no money.
Not with no bottomless pit. No, the bottomless pit.
I'm supposed to probably come out there in October, so I'm going to take you up on that. So Dallas is quickly turning into one of my favorite cities.
Get your check card ready, B. Jones. Get your check card ready.
Hey, I need to take me down. Y'all seen on Disney where they got on Disney television, they got the What If series from Marvel. I'm going to do the What If the Phoenix Suns had won that 93-94 championship. That would be super dope. We need to do the What If and how that would have changed everything. That would have been crazy. I know everybody wanted to watch that.
Would a dynasty have started after that?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We got that. So y'all buckle up for the Sports Life Talk What If series. Hey, Sports Life Talk Nation, we love y'all. Stay safe, be blessed, respect each other, and love one another because together we are better. And keep dreaming big because you never know. Your story may be the next one featured on Sports Life Talks. You got next. Yeet.
See what's crazy is I knew you had next because you always working, you always grinding, you're in your bag because you're always working. Like in due time, I knew you got next. Oh, you did it, huh? Crack the code. You got next, you smashing goals. You want next, you need exposure. Well, Sports Life Talk got the baddest show, like the baddest in the room. Podcast to tune into just for you to talk your shit. Talk your mushroom. You are what you eat and you should consume. Sports Life Talk from the late night to the afternoon, then rest repeat. Hit the like, leave a comment, or subscribe so you don't miss a beat. You got next is a small taste of a winning meal from a chef type of celebrity. What's up next is you, at least you better be. Yeah, you got next, yeah. I can feel it, you're a winner just like me. You got next, and what comes next? Tune in next time and you'll see. Cause if you got next, yeah, if you got next, then you're just like me. If you got next, yeah, if you got next, then you know where to be. I'm talking Sports Life, talking this.